Here's Zombot Battle Cruiser 5000. It looks like Zomboss has made another invention. Science, so Rust Bolt. It's a gravestone. Okay. When revealed, zombies can't be hurt this turn. What? 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 This is a 6-cost card. This is like, what? This is, no, what? This is the first card, actually, of all the amazing cards we've seen that has been just, this card is not going to exist when it comes to set 2. This card is ridiculous, especially with Neptuna. You're just gonna keep on popping this thing back into a gravestone with your mix of Gravediggers. This is just 7-5 protects itself for 6 is good. It protects the rest of your zombies. It's just, what? What's going on, everybody? So today we're going to do something a little bit different. I am going to actually be reacting to a video. This video was put out by Ginta Gaming. And it is the Plants vs. Zombies Heroes upcoming set 2 cards and their abilities. I've been asked by so many people, both here in Twitch and in YouTube, and here on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube, they just wanted to see what my reaction would be, maybe to review the cards that are coming out. The disclaimer, of course, before I watch this video, is that all of these cards are subject to change, and many of them probably will change. I mean, we've seen ourselves event cards, you know, even by the time they've been officially put into the game, and the time they've actually, you know, we've reached that week that they're actually released. We've seen changes like that. Garlic recently was an example. Defensive End a long time ago was another example of that. So I have a feeling that some of the amazing cards that are going to be way too OP, and they're going to, that sometimes, first of all, they're not as OP as they look, and second of all, if they end up being too OP and too influential on the meta, it's good. They're probably not going to exist in that current form. They're probably going to either start costing more or do a little bit less, have a little bit less health, something like that. So here we go. Let's do this. Just start the video here. See if I can do this without pausing too much. Doing this with, okay, so here's the first one, Galactic Cactus. It's a 1-cost 2/2 bullseye. It's a cactus flower. Hold on, back up. Okay, it looks like I'm actually gonna have to be pausing this video a little bit just to see what these cards are. Okay, so far the stats already on that are like totally broken. How could it be a 1-cost 2/2 bullseye flower synergy too? Cactus, there's currently no synergy yet in the game. Maybe there will be somewhere in the set. And it also has an ability, when destroyed, to do 1 damage to everything. So this is sort of like a little barrel of Deadbeards, kind of without the actual Captain Deadbeards. Everything, I'm assuming, means to the plant and zombie heroes as well. So this is like even a bigger explosion than the barrel of Deadbeards would have been. Wow. Okay. So I think that this card obviously is going to be, I mean, the way the stats are right here is this is the strongest 1-drop in the game. I mean, there's not, these things don't have those kinds of, even just 1/2/2 bullseye, plus having a very good synergy, which is flower synergy. Maybe they're going to try to make flowers a little bit OP. Flowers probably aren't like the super high level plants, so maybe that's what they're trying to do. And a card like this really could make that happen. So on that basis alone, maybe just to give the Guardian class, it's the only way you're really going to get flower synergy also is for Walnut. Walnut is not necessarily one of the top heroes too, so maybe it's just to strengthen him. It's actually not so bad. Let's keep on going here. Let's Galactic Cactus. It seems like there's going to be a lot of space themed. I've never watched this video before. It seems like there's a lot of space themed things. Alright, Photosynthesizer. Here's a 1-cost trick. That's really interesting having a 1-cost trick. The first thing that comes to my mind is, what about Repeat Moss and Grass Knuckle, since this is Guardian? A plant gets +2 health. Conjure a Galactic Gardens card. So I have no idea what that is. Maybe we'll find that out later in this video. Who even knows? So it seems like a plant gets a little bit of health, and you draw a certain card. Maybe that card's really good. I don't really know the difference between Conjure or just it comes into your hand, like you gain 1 in your hand. Maybe Conjure is different. So that was kind of interesting. I kind of like the mechanics of that. The fact that it just gives something 2 health, and you draw cards. It doesn't really cost you a card. You know, it doesn't give you an uncard advantage. The extra health can be used with Health Nut and probably with a lot of things. Just a nice little useful card. Who knows what that Galactic card is? All right, here's Corn Dog. This is amphibious, and what in the world does that even say? I'm going to turn this up a little bit. Hunt. So I'm assuming that Hunt is just a term that they created for the what the formerly dog was in the what's it called? There was a card called obviously Dog Walker, which is in the beastie class of the zombies. And whenever a plant is played, it hunts it, it follows it down. I'm assuming this is going to be very similar. So this will be a 3/2 cost card. That's an animal plant, still no synergy. This is amphibious though. That's kind of interesting. So it's a really you're able to play in the water. Like 3/2 for 2 cost would be way too good on turn 2 in the water, but it's sort of weakened by its hunt ability that it can't, if your opponent the next turn can't deal with it for whatever reason, or they can just beam me up that turn, that they'll actually be able to pull this out of the water easily. Okay, seems like a decent card. I think this is pretty legit. If it didn't have hunt, it would be so much better. It's actually going to work very different than Dog Walker, especially the fact it's a plant. Alright, let's see what's going on next. Next one they have is Planter, and when played, destroy all zombie environments. So this is a card with really good stats, by the way. The fact the Guardian class now has a 3/3 on turn 3 I think is excellent. That's going to be very useful, and destroying their environments might be really good too. Here's Speedwike Sector. So this like it is going to be an environment. So it's a root trick. Okay, it's a trick, cost 3. Before combat here, do 2 damage to a zombie here. So it's basically, I remember this sort of like this plant from Plants vs. Zombies 1. That looks like it'll be a useful card. I wonder really how useful it's going to be, because the zombies are obviously going to then not play cards in that lane. So maybe you can put it on that lane to help protect something. Seems awfully expensive for 3 health, just to sort of be kind of like a protective card. But it doesn't seem that impressive. Maybe there's going to be some really good uses. Who even knows? Alright, here's the next one. What is this cosmic nut? It looks like a walnut. It's just like floating in outer space. I don't even know what this is. Alright, it's a nut plant. So we have a nut. It's a 4/3/4. So first thing that comes to my mind is, non-weed sprayable nut. Which is obviously, the nuts need a lot of help. They're so powerful and so fun, but they have such strong weaknesses, most of which is weed spray. So, alright. When played, conjure a nut, and its attack becomes 3? What? It's so hard for me. I'm just trying to, the resolution on this video is not that great. That's why I'm going to be making this a little bit bigger at times. I think that says 3, guys. I'm going to full screen this just for a second to make sure. It says 3. So this is going to be like the ultimate mirror nut anti-weed spray card, that not only does this thing have 3/4 and it's a nut, you get another nut, and I guess it's a random nut from throughout their game. They're giving very conjure. It sounds like a very clear, set terms for it, and that one's also not gonna be weed sprayable. I mean, that could just take a walnut and get a 1-cost 3/6, which is like ridiculous. Wow. All right, force field. Plants can't be hurt. What? What? Plants here can't be hurt. So all the plants are invincible. It's a 4-cost environment. What? That's invincible. I think it can only be hard removed, I guess. So I guess hard removal still works. I guess you can either destroy the environment or use something like Locust Swarm, Rocket. Those things like that will still help. So I guess for the really powerful plants anyway, they're going to not want to remove it necessarily with a minion. They're going to want to do it with rocket science, but still, I mean, it just means that they can't take it. There's a lot of minions that actually take things out, so dang. Yeah, poor Z-Mech is right, because Z-Mech has no hard removal. That's a really good point. Alright, here's Starch Lord. What is this? Okay, Root Plant. It's a 2/5. That environment costed 4, by the way, so it's very, very expensive to then set up an entire another card. Imagine you do Pilot Powerhouse on that, though. It's just ridiculous. Okay, Starch Lord. I don't even know what kind of plant this is. What in the world is he? It's just like a blob with a little cyborg thing. Okay, so it's a 4/2/5. Mess stats. Start of turn, conjure a root. So this is the first time that I've ever seen a root synergy, and we'd have to then go through all the cards again in the game and see which ones are the roots. I don't even know. Is Gravebuster? I haven't even been paying attention to the ones with if they don't have that synergy. So you conjure a root. When you play another root, that root gets +1/+1. So it sounds like that card's going to sit in your hand and grow every single time you play roots. I have no idea what the implications of this cards are going to be. We're going to have to see if there's going to be new roots in set 2 and what the roots are and how useful this is going to be. Even if there's some useless roots like Potato Mine and then that grows, I don't know how good. Maybe since it costs 1, it will be good and the expensive one's not. Kind of really hard to predict what this is going to do to the game here. I'm going to try to look at the chat while the video is switching around. Root synergy confirmed. Okay, here's body gourds. Here's another squash plant. Still no squash synergy. 536. Okay, interesting. It's amphibious. Okay, it's also team up. Okay. And when played, fill your super block meter to full. Fill your super block meter to full. So that is an advantage and a disadvantage. I mean, it's going to make you block sooner, but that could really mess you up. You have an empty block meter, so all of a sudden you're losing a block. I mean, it really depends. If you're playing like the long game, you're going to run out of blocks quickly. If you play this, you're actually going to come to a point where you have no block. I guess you can use this to prevent the next shot of damage. This could be a really useful, seems like a very tactical card. The stats really aren't good enough to justify being 5 cost 3/6 amphibious team up. It's decent stats actually once you add amphibious and team up onto it. Very, very versatile card. I mean, this is, I think, going to be an extremely high level card to play. And really, I mean, it's going to be just like, you're going to have to play it in such key times in order to get value out of it, and that's going to obviously then justify an entire card in your deck just to sort of make your block meter, like be able to prevent the next point of damage. I don't know, we'll see. Oh, Mayflower makes squash synergy. Okay, that's Ludu's saying. Okay, here's Gravitry. What is this? It's a fruit tree plant, so no synergy there. It's 6/6/7 with 1 armor. Like, that's a huge 6 cost plant. I don't think it quite justifies costing 6 yet because, as we know, just having big stats doesn't necessarily do, especially at the 6 cost. 5 cost, it could just be a big plant. 6 has got to do more. What does it do? When a zombie is played, move it here. That's really interesting. This just reminds me very much of Soul Patch. This is sort of just another twist, a little bit of a cheaper version of Soul Patch. And instead of Soul Patch actually absorbing the damage, this will just kind of like move one zombie at a time over here. I don't really think this is going to be great. I think the stats are amazing. I mean, it's a 6/8 on turn 6. So it has very, very good stats. It could be just in terms of a tempo deck. You'd be able to play this, and when a zombie's played, move it here. It's so interesting. Maybe it'll be useful. I'm not super blown away from this, but yes, very cute apple tree. All right, next, Pecanolith. It's not the streamer, it's the plant. What is this? Looks like a gravestone. What in the world is, okay, it's a nut plant. It looks like it's going to attack with health 6/6/6 claws. It's huge. All plants and zombies attack using their health instead of their attack. What? What? This is insane. Really? Really? What is this? What is helpful here, guys? I'll look back at the chat right after I do this. What is going on? So this is I have no idea how this is going to affect the game. I mean, if you're running a nut deck, I mean, this is obviously going to run into weed spray problems. This card dies to Rolling Stone, which is really sad for a 6 cost card. I wonder if this could be used in some kind of OTK deck where you have all your high health, you're playing your Steel Magnolias and doing all your stuff that increases the health, and then you just play this and win that turn. This is going to be a very difficult card to play. This is going to be a very difficult card to play around. I could imagine this defining the meta in terms of the zombies just needing to play around with this card. It's like, turn 6, Guardian class, watch it for the Pecanolith. Oh, man. That's pretty cool. I'm sure that's where the streamer Pecanolith got his name from. Let's move on. We are going to go to the Kabloomy class, my favorite class and probably the strongest one right now. So let's see what this does. Here's another mushroom. This is a super rare 1 cost. Okay, so it is bullseyes. It seems like there's going to be a lot of bullseye. It's a mushroom plant, pretty cool. When you play another plant, do 1 damage to the zombie hero. When you play any other plant. So this is going to be, I mean, you can start throwing out shroom for 2s on the board. That'll probably count as 2. And this will proc their block easier. I wonder if the ability is bullseye too. If the ability is bullseye, this card is absolutely ridiculous. It could be it actually is bullseye and it won't actually proc their block meter. So, I mean, this could really create the zoo decks. Zoo decks really aren't a thing in this game. We've made a couple with the zombies or the plants. There's not so much, but this could really create zoo, a really powerful zoo decks, and especially with little cards with multiplicity, and just keep drawing cards and doing that. All right, here's Reincarnation. Here's like a new flower that costs 1/2/2. Okay, similar to Blooming Heart so far. And it says, while in your hand at the end of the turn, this transform into a random plant. It keeps this ability. That's hilarious. This card is ridiculous, though. I mean, it's gonna keep on changing every single turn. I love the pun, though, also. Reincarnation. Oh, man, that's just gonna be hilarious. How good is this? This seems like it has a lot of potential. I mean, it seems like a really powerful version of Seedling, since it only costs 1, and it's actually viable the turn you play it, so... Alright, here's Banana Launcher. It's a 2 cost, 3 health. Start of turn, gain a... Link Banana Bomb. Okay, there's going to be a banana. It seems like I think I've seen that card played before in one of these types of videos. It seems like it's going to be a card that's basically like a Berry Blast or something like that you keep on dishing it out. This is going to be a really, really hard card to protect. It has no attack, has no way of protecting itself, and anyway, oh, here's Banana Bomb. Do 2 damage to the zombie. Okay, so you can play these little Banana Bombs. Even then, if you're playing a 3, even if you're playing this on turn 2, so just to protect it, you need to play it on, I don't know. It just seems like it's going to be a little bit... You don't even get that Banana Bomb that turn. You get it at the beginning of the next turn. This seems like a card that's going to be very hard to actually play effectively. Maybe there's going to be something with Trick Synergy with, you know, Captain Combustible, and you start getting those Banana Bombs and you combo them with your Repeat Moss. As if Repeat Moss need to get any better. Maybe that would be really good in a Repeat Moss deck. See what else is going here. Mushroom Grotto. When you play a plant here, make a 1/1 Puff Shroom with Team Up in another random lane. This seems like a really, really solid environmental card. And if you play, like, let's say Shroom for 2 in this lane, it'll make 2. And then you can start putting on Pine Clones and Ridiculous. That looks like a really, really good one. Here's Cosmic Mushroom. This is another, they're giving a lot of mushrooms. Dang. 3/2/2, very bad stats. When played, conjure a mushroom, and it gets +2. So I don't know if that's putting it on the... It's very interesting. I don't know if that's Conjure's putting it in your hand now, or if it's putting it on the board. But if it's on the board, this is kind of ridiculous. It probably is in your hand. That's what I'm guessing. We have no idea when the set is coming out, of course. Rumors are end of June, but really no one has any idea. Okay, here's Invasive Species. I love these Kabloomy cards. 3/2/4. Okay, decent stats. Leafy Flower Plant. So it's another Kabloomy Flower. Solar Flare. While in an environment, this gets +3 attack, so it's theoretically a 5/4 if it's in an environment. I don't think this is going to be a very good card. The fact that it's just mediocre, very meh average, dies to Weed Spray, and then when you put it in an environment, then it's a 5/4 for 3. When the environment gets just, I don't know if there's other ways to destroy plant environments, but you need to have already invested a lot into this card. Maybe this will be decent. It doesn't seem like it's going to do that much, though. Alright, moving right along. What have we got here? Whoa, what is this thing? This looks like a legendary. Click on it. Stop thumping. Alright, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. I'm Kale, so it's Mole Kale. Let's get a good view of this guy. Leafy Plant. Okay, when played. So first of all, 4, and it's a 3 attack, 2 health. Very, very poor stats. When played, each other plant transforms into a random plant that costs 1 more. So they're making the Kabloomy. Obviously, for RNGesus decks, this will be the king of RNGesus decks. I mean, this could work on team-ups too. Imagine combining this card with Shroom for 2. Just ridiculous. This is almost an alternative to Pineclone if you think about it. It could really, I mean, I don't know. Is this going to be really as good as Pineclone? I guess this could work in a deck where you want a Pineclone, but you also have maybe some big minions. They don't want the Pineclone to hurt. But you could really manipulate this well when the higher costs, when there's not going to be a lot of things, you can really manipulate that. There's a card in Hearthstone that's just like this. It seems like a card that's going to be cute, unreliable, and I'm guessing second rate of Pineclone, but maybe it'll be amazing. Oh, we'll see. All right, here's Sonic Bloom. It is a 4 cost. 3 attack, 1 health. Okay, terrible stats. It's another flower. When played, do 1 damage to the zombie hero for each plant. So almost reminiscent of what's it called? Of the flamenco on the zombie side. The difference is that plants have team ups, and I think this is just going to be another card that really enhances the zoo aspect for the Kabloomy class. It seems like that's what they're really trying to do with Mushroom Grotto and all these things. Just really try to swarm, and making there be a lot of synergy by putting tons and tons of little plants on the field. This looks like a decent card. It could definitely have uses, OTK uses, where you play tons of mushrooms and Mushroom Grotto and then play this as a finisher. I could see that working. Lava Guava. It'll be a hard card to play, but anyway. Lava Guava. Here's a 5 cost and it has absolutely no stats. Oh, it's a trick. Do 2 damage to each zombie here and next door. So it's like, first of all, it's a little cherry bomb. If played on the ground, make a link lava here. So there's going to be a lava. Okay, so it's going to spawn a card and do a little mini field clear. Kind of nice. There's a little bit of a cheaper version of field clear. It costs 5 instead of 6 for the plants. Okay, what is lava exactly? Lava's a trick. Before combat here, do 1 damage to each plant and zombie here. Oh, so I guess that makes an environment. That must be what it is. So it makes lava that sort of keeps on damaging. I don't see how this is going to be that useful. It only does 2 damage also, which is not going to really kill much in terms of zombies. We'll see. Maybe it's good. Here's Pear Paradise. This looks like it's going to be another environment. 5 cost, which is so much. When you play a plant here, hold on. When you play a plant here, make a copy of that plant with team up here. So this is going to be like a Pear Paradise. They're interesting. It's going to be basically duplicating the plants that you play. So obviously, playing this on a bigger plant will give you more value. But again, even if you play this for 5, and then you play, I guess this environments are pretty easy to survive. So then on turn 6, your card's going to be doubled, let's say. If you happen to have a good 6 drop. Plus, you're really skipping turn 5 and doing nothing. Turn 5 is you have to understand, this isn't actually as good as it looks, I think, because the fact that you really essentially do turn 5, you do nothing. That could get your opponent so far ahead, even though you'll have double on turn 6, but your opponent already played on turn 5 a 5 cost card, let's say, or 5 cost worth of cards. Then you do this. It seems like very unreliable. There's probably going to be some amazing uses and some one-turn kill implications of this card. We'll see. I'm not superly impressed by that, but it looks like it has a lot of really weird combo potential. All right, here's the Mega Hero class. And, okay, first one's Banana Pill. Move a zombie, conjure a banana. So it's a trick. You move a zombie. That's interesting. And then you conjure a banana. What do bananas do? Is that banana bomb? No, it must be something else. Oh, maybe conjure banana just means you get any card that has banana. So you're either going to get a banana or a... It's so interesting. Or you get a... either get a banana or like a banana store. Because the bananas are really, really good. Or banana split, I guess, is really... Bananas are really good cards. So this is kind of very interesting. I don't know how useful it is to actually put this in a deck. Maybe it gives you a way to get bananas in the Mega Grow class, but... anyway, I don't really know how useful that is going to be. Alright, here we go. Click Peas. 1 cost 1/1. Okay, interesting. More 1 cost cards, which are... I think they're doing that on purpose. This is a bean and a pea, so there is some synergy here with Green Shadow. When played, shuffle 2, click Peas into your deck. For the rest of the game, all click Peas cost 1/1. So this is going to be reminiscent of, I believe they're called golems in Hearthstone. That basically, as Jade Golems, as every single time you make one a click P, the rest of them, they're more, and then you keep on multiplying them and keeps on putting more in your deck, and they just become stronger and stronger. So, seems like a really unreliable card to be running in your thing. Maybe it's just good in a bean deck because you have some bean synergy here. Maybe. Seems pretty meh, but maybe there's going to be some way. I guess in a deck like a zoo deck, again, this is a zoo deck potential, that you're basically playing little minions and then drawing tons of cards and cycling through that deck using Flourish and whatever else. Maybe they'll give us some other things, Party Time, whatever. Maybe they'll be able to, you're able to really cycle through your deck well and get those beans out, in which case they'll be amazing, because then you're going to have 1 cost 2/2. Even the second one's not that good. But then 3/3, 4/4, obviously from then. After the first 2, they'll be really good. Here's Coffee Grounds. Plants here get Double Strike. So I'm guessing Double Strike means during their attack phase, they're going to do a bonus attack. This is a 2-cost card, which seems very, very cheap for that ability. I like the environments that are cheaper, because you don't have to like spend a whole turn 5 like wasting on that. Even though spending turn 2 doing this is hard. Maybe this will have some. I think late game this will actually have some better late game. You actually do this on turn 2. You do it on turn 7 together with Potted Powerhouse and make an OTK or something. Anyway, here's the next one. It's called Planetary Proliferation. Okay, trick. All plants on heights and environments get +2/+2. This looks like a very hard card to pull off. I mean, you'd have to have so many environment cards in your deck to make this good. Obviously 2 and just working on heights, and you have to have a card on heights. You're not necessarily going to have one on heights. Seems like a very, very high maintenance card. It could be there's going to be some decks that this just turns out to be amazing, but you're basically going to have to base the whole deck on that card, and basing your entire deck on a card that, I don't know, at the end of the day is a monster mesh. I don't know how good that's going to be. All right, here's another P, sweet P. Oh, she's so cute. 2/2/3, good stats. It's a P plant. That's good synergy. When played, move a zombie to this lane. So it's like sweet potato. Okay, interesting. Sweet pea, got it. Sweet potato. So that seems average. Maybe it'll help. Will synergize well with Podfather, because then you'll protect the Podfather the next turn by whatever zombie they play there, and you keep on getting more value. Who knows? All right, what's this? Captain Cucumber. I have a new name for me now. No. Okay, it's a fruit plant. Why is a cucumber a fruit? It's not a fruit. It's a vegetable. No one cares. And thank you, Rayam, for the sub. Really appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing. All right, cards you conjure. 3/1/4. Horrible stats. Wheat sprayable. Cost 1 less. So this would have to be in a deck with a lot of conjure synergy. And, man, when this does damage, conjure a legendary card. So this is almost like a card draw. This is very similar to, again, another card in Hearthstone, the Pain Seeker, I think he's called. That basically when this takes down, you got to kind of set this up in front of a low attack zombie, which is going to be difficult to do. Maybe you can. And those cards are going to be awesome. This could have a lot of potential. A lot of the legendary cards are going to be very late game. To really invest in this on turn 3, you know what? It's card draw. It is card draw. This will maybe be very good in terms of zoo decks. Again, it seems like the game is really trying to shift the sort of, you know, mindset from control, which are all the strong decks right now in the game, to zoo, which is lots of little cards draw, you know, just another way to draw cards, you know, besides for Mayflower and all that. So, all right, keep it coming here. Here's going to be Galactic P. I'm sure that's what this is going to be called. Cosmic P, whatever. All right, 3/1/1. Ugh. Okay, first of all, double strike. So I guess it's like repeater, but poor stats. When played, conjure a P, and it gets double strike. So it gives you another way of drawing cards. Maybe this will be good. Maybe it'll be very good with maybe the Podfather. Seems pretty meh. It's so weak on itself. It's just a 1/1 that does, you can grow it afterwards, but usually cards that are independently really, really weak, usually not that good. And plus, which P is it going to get? Even if it gets a Podfather. Yay, the Podfather does another, who cares, you know? It'll get a 3-peater that does double strike. Who even knows? Anyway. This looks like a moon. It's a moon bean. Hey, a new bean. I like beans. Wish there would be a lot more beans in the game. I guess there are. When this does damage, shuffle 2 magic beanstalks into your deck when it's damaged. So, okay, so here's a card. This is definitely going to be a much better alternative to the So Magic Beans, which even though it gives you 4 in your deck, this one's better. This could potentially give you 2, potentially give you 4. It's just a card that's not a total waste of a turn. That's the problem with So Magic Beans. This will actually be a 3/2/4. It's decent stats. Dies to whatever. Dies to weed spray, but you know. All right, keep it coming. What is this going to be? Onion rings. Woo! Wow, that animation was awesome. Onion plant. When played, each plant in your hand becomes a 4/4. What? This is a Mega Grow card. So this is again another card that would work so well in a zoo context. They're giving it to the Mega Grow class. I mean, I don't know what they're doing to Captain Combustible. It seems like his zoo synergy is going to be insanity right now. But I'm guessing those cards are going to still cost 1. And if you have just a bunch of little cards and then onion rings in your hands and you get up with these 1/4/4s, just ridiculous value. So, all right, let's see what's going on here. Reviewing set 2. Pod Fighter. I love that. 5/2/2. Okay, it's a P plant. This does a bonus attack when you play a plant here or next door. So, seems a little bit like, kind of interesting. It seems like a little bit like Repeat Moss, but it has to do with plants. This will obviously work very well with team ups, and especially if you put a Torchwood in front of this will, you know, do then a bonus attack for 5. So this is an easy 5 damage there on that turn. This could have a lot of potential, especially in zoo decks when you have a bunch of little cards with team up and stuff like that. So, Alright, here we go. This next one is going to be the Red Planted. It's a root trick. Plants here get +5/+5. So this is obviously going to make another plant. I wonder if there's going to be some synergy with plants that if they just grow immediately, they're just amazing. I could imagine this working very well with, let's say, plant food. If you would play, let's say, just a 2-cost card. Let's say even you'd play like a, Flaming Pea that turn on this thing. This would end up having 8 attack, and then you can just play, it's turn 6, and then you can just play a bonus attack. It'll end up doing 9 damage there. Probably if this is played, the zombies are going to stick something on this the next turn just to make sure you don't get that, you don't get like a OTK. Seems like it could really have some potential. Again, you're totally skipping turn 5 when you play this, which could really give the zombies an opportunity to get ahead. So it's really not amazing since you're spending a whole turn 5 doing this, and you can lose that turn. You can literally lose on turn 5 if you do nothing. So alright, we'll see how it does. I'm sure there's gonna be some really awesome synergies there. Moving right along here, the next one is Mars Flytrap Name. Okay, so this looks like it's an uncompleted card. Maybe we'll see in a later date exactly what that does. That's a smarty. Moving right along, this looks like it's gonna be a Cosmic Bean. It looks like a laser beam from space. 2-cost 1/1, horrible stats. Team up, okay. It is a bean though. When played, conjure a bean and it gets team up. So again, it's maybe with beans. I guess with Admiral Navy Bean, this probably would be pretty good. You can just like get more beans and more beans. There's a pretty cheap card. It draws you an extra card. It does have team up, so it could be used just to protect something. Seems like intrinsically pretty bad, but maybe this, again, in a deck with, let's say, Admiral Navy Bean and just a lot of synergy where you're swarming, and drawing cards, it could be this will be pretty good. Alright, keep on going here. What is this one going to be? I saw it already. Laser Cattail. I just saw the name on the previous screen here. What in the world is this? Animal Plant, no synergy there yet. It's amphibious, okay. Team up, so it's kind of similar to Cattail. Seems a little bit better already. This gets +1/+1 when you play a plant here. So it seems like every time you play a plant here, you can actually be sticking little plants in front. And this will be benefiting again and again and again from that until they actually manage to kill this card. This looks very interesting. Of course, this is only going to be... this will be good in the water lane because it's hard to take out. This will be very good in in zoo decks where it's very, very swarmy. Looks like a card with a lot of potential. It's moving right along. Keep it coming. Terminator Kitty. Something like that. Okay, you clicked on that already. Keep it coming. This looks like it's going to be an environment. Planet of the Grapes. What a good reference of a 90s movie. Maybe it was 2000. Okay, when a plant here hurts the zombie hero, draw a card. Wow, so this is some zoo synergy right here. It has to hurt. Again, you're spending your whole turn 2 play doing this. Then you have to play a plant exactly here. Can't get blocked by the zombie. It has to hit the hero. The hero can't block. So this could have a lot of potential. It's a berry trick. Interesting. It might have be good with Nightcap with the berry synergy. I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not. This is very interesting. I don't know how good that's going to be. It's a huge investment of a card, and then you're really not necessarily going to draw a card from that the whole game, but who knows. Environments. All right, cool bean. What is this? Like bean? It just goes in the freezer. 3 cost, 3 attack, 3 health, and it's a bean. Awesome already. I don't even have to look at anything more. Okay, when played, freeze all gravestones. What? What happens when you freeze a gravestone? The zombie in it doesn't pop out until next turn? It must be. It's just going to stick in the gravestone, not pop out. Unless the zombie does pop out, and then it just comes out frozen. But this is also a smarty card, so this is going to, I don't know, it's potentially going to be very advantageous in freeze decks against gravestones. I mean, which zombie, doesn't run gravestones here? Freeze all gravestones. It doesn't cost you much to have this in your deck. It's a 3 cost, 3 attack, and 3 health, which is excellent stats for a 3 cost card. Plus it has bean synergy. Seems like a really cool card. But is that supposed to be a Star Wars reference? Anyway, what is this? It's in the way. It's amphibious. Okay, what in the world does this even say? I can't read it. Wait, cool bean. Oh, you can kind of read it when it's over here. Okay, so we're gonna, it's because it doesn't, for some reason the animation's messed up. So we'll read it from this position right here. Okay, this is called the something bog, Deg bog, or I don't know what that last letter is going to be. Let's see what it says. It's amphibious. So it looks like it's going to be an amphibious environment. I'm sure that's what the confusion of that animation was. Plants here get +2 attack. Non-amphibious zombies here get -2 attack. Amphibious plants. Oh, so maybe you can't play this in the water. It really just turns a ground lane into this. And it gives you an advantage. A really advantage of an amphibious deck. I could see this working quite well with Citron, and we did make recently an amphibious Citron deck that was pretty good. This not only will give you, not only is this an attacking card, it's also a preventative card. I actually really like the mechanics of this. The fact that you can just play this on a lane and it'll actually do something that turn to the zombies there, really protect you, and then you can really start getting it going. It seems a little bit expensive at 3, but hey, maybe this will be awesome. Who knows? It'll be good with snake grass. All right, here's Leaf Bowler. Leafy plants. It's amphibious. Great, decent stats. 3/4 amphibious for 4. Okay. When played in an environment, bounds a zombie. So again, it's very specific. You have to have already had a good environment play before you play this, and then you have to play this exactly there. You can't need to play in a different lane. And then you also have to have not another plant in that lane already. Plus then, okay, so then it bounces a zombie. You can do this once. It seems decent. I'm not actually overly impressed by that. Let's see how it goes. Moving right along. Hey, look at that. This is one of my favorite cards from Plants vs. Zombies 1. It's finally here. Oh my gosh, this thing is shooting stars like right in my face. Look at the animation. Okay, we'll get to that probably next. This is a 5-cost 3/4 splash damage 3. So it seems like a hardier, more expensive version of Snapdragon, which is in the same class. So it's not even going to give you that much more options. Snapdragon is kind of very, very weak. Just even though it costs a cost 4, it only has 1 health, so it dies so easily. This thing really doesn't have any clear weaknesses, does not die to any kind of field clear. Opponent would have to really cake this in order to remove it or something like that. Splash damage 3. This seems like actually a really powerful card. This is a field clear card, of course. You kind of use it like a cherry bomb or that kind of thing, and this seems like potential. It's not very specific. It seems like it could be in a lot of very good decks. Specifically giving the Smarty some control power is I kind of like that. Oh, that seems cool. Okay, here's the this card. They have to fix the animation of this card. Okay, Starfruit. 5 cost 2/2. This attacks in all 5 lanes. I remember this from Plants vs. Zombies 1. Man, this is going to be... You can actually pump this up and give it stats. This is kind of like a really weird version of 3-peater, if you think about it. Same class, too. This could definitely have some potential. It's going to be a very high-maintenance card because it's not good... Usually, unless you even doing, if you have an empty field and you get a 2, it's so easy to remove though. You really need it to protect that card. It's so easily removed by Plumber, by anything with 2 damage. Beam Me Up kills it, but I guess by that time it still did 10 damage by the time Beam Me Up kills it. Might be good. Alright, what's this? Sap Fling. It's a pine cone. No more pine cones. Okay, tree plant. Okay, so it's a 6/5/3, horrible stats. When played, make a link sap environment. So this creates an environment when you play it. I love an environment that you basically play a minion to. It's not like a total waste of a turn. This can take out a zombie with 5 health. Let's see what the sap environment does. Did we see that already? This must be it. Okay, sappy ending. This must be the environment. Zombies here get, I believe it says -3 attack. Wow. So the 3 health of that sapling launcher, whatever the thing was called, that we saw before, the 3 attack of this is really justified by this thing. Essentially has 6 health. It's really even better than that in some ways. It's almost like this thing has 3 armor when it's played. This looks like a really, really powerful card. It can really neutralize a lot of zombie threats and then create one of your own, and it's going to be very difficult to remove. I mean, I guess they would just have to do 3 damage. So Wrath would be the real good answer to this. All right, and here comes the last one, and this is, I think, what people have really been waiting for. Dark Matter Dragon Fruit. Dragon Fruit Plant. Okay, so it costs 8. So first of all, I just compare it to Great Zucchini, and I don't know, in terms of cost and kernel corn. It's amphibious. It's splash damage of 5, so pretty decent stats. Zombie tricks cost 5 more. Unbelievable if you think about it. I mean, rocket science, they can still spend a whole turn rocket sciencing this down, so I guess it's kind of nice it has that weakness at least. Obviously Locust Swarm, all these kinds of things are not. It's going to really, prevent these zombies from doing something. This has a lot of great stats here. It's much better than Brainana in this sense. Brainana prevents them playing tricks this turn. This essentially prevents them from playing tricks, at least not efficiently. Plus, it's a huge card with huge implications. This card seems very, very OP. It's obviously very late game. It's 8 cost as a finisher. When you play this on the board, it's a huge commitment, but again, you can play this in a lane to the left, and it'll start damaging zombies in 3 different lanes. It is amphibious too, just in case. It's a dragon fruit plant. This card seems very, very good. Do I think this is unbelievably OP, and it's going to be... Again, when you're at turn 8 and you're preventing them from playing tricks then, it's a good card. This is definitely an amazing, amazing card. I don't know how it could be on turn 6, the implications of that are more with Brainana, but again, don't get me wrong. This is going to be a really great card. Really, really great in terms of finisher. Definitely stacking 2 of these will totally prevent your opponent from doing anything. I think this card has a lot of potential. This is really the Smarty. I'm really happy this card is kind of being made, however this ends up being, because the Smarty, all the late game of the Smarty, I don't know, Great Zucchini, Wintermelon, you kind of see them, kind of surrounding this guy on the screen right now. They're very, very weak finishers. It's nice to actually be able to have good control decks with the Smarty class and have a really, really solid finisher like that. Like the crazy class, I guess. Alright, Cosmos. 1 cost 2/2 Moss Plant, okay. This gets +1/+1 for each environment. So again, another card that I guess would be good, and it would have to be a very heavy environment deck. I guess 1 cost 2/2 is fine. So if you know you're for sure going to be playing an environment at some point, then this will be 1/3/3. It's kind of similar to Morning Glory in that way. It is a little bit more high maintenance because you have to get that environment in your hand. It's not like Morning Glory that just you need to have made 6 on that turn. But again, this can get buffed multiple times if you have multiple environments. So it seems like this is going to work even for zombie environment. I don't know if there's such thing as zombie environments. I guess we'll see. But this would work theoretically if they would ever make a zombie environment in this game. Okay, here's Apple Saucer. 3/2 for 3. Wow, that's a really good 2-cost card. And the Solar class does not really have good 2s. And just having the stats is great. Fruit Plant, when played, if you made at least 6 on this turn, this gets Strike Through. A decent card. This is a very, very decent card. I really would just use it as a 3/2. Doesn't have P synergy like Flaming P does. But it can, late game, it becomes a little bit more of a threat. It'll, be able to use synergy. It seems like a nice, that's like a really fair, decent card. I actually really like that card. Alright, 2-cost Solar Winds. This looks like it's going to be an environment. End of turn. If there are no zombies here, make a Sunflower here. That's interesting. So, that's really, really interesting. Maybe making sunflowers viable. Obviously, sunflower is not a great plant. It will give you sun at the beginning of the next turn over there. It's only if there's no zombies here, so you'd obviously have to be a little bit high maintenance. This could work with Briar Rose and stuff like that. Interesting. I think they're really going to be pumping up flowers. We've already seen a lot of strong flowers in the game in other sets, so we'll see what they do here. Alright, here's Pump King. It's a 2/3. We don't 3-cost. Don't know what the ability is. Seems like it's not been finished yet, so we'll just move on. Here's Cosmic Flower as part of this thing. Strike Through, so 3/2/1, horrible. When played, conjures. It seems like all the Cosmic cards are going to conjure things. A flower, and it gets Strike Through. That's interesting. A lot of flowers already have Strike Through anyway. The stats of this are horrible. It does draw you a card, though, so maybe that's good. Maybe it's worth it. Alright, moving right along. What's the next plant? It's going to be this one. It's a 4-cost, 3-attack, 4-health Artichoke. Leafy Flower, okay, so flower synergy, there you go. When a plant or your hero is healed, do that much damage to the zombie hero. Holy moly. So this heal decks are really, really weak. Obviously, Power Flower is a good card, but, things with Dr. Pepper, Pepper MD, whatever he's called, is not really a good card. It hasn't been really healed decks yet so much. This is going to create heal decks, and this is potentially going to be like an OTK heal deck, where you basically just you basically wait, and you're using a hero like either it's going to be Walnut or Shamzilla. You try to get a lot of damaged plants. Maybe there's a way you can even damage your own plants. Then you just play Artichoke and Geyser and win that turn. I could definitely see a deck doing that. That'll be a lot of fun. I don't think it'll be that effective because it's going to be so difficult to pull off. And then you'd also have to get the Artichoke, but This is interesting. Could be used as an interesting finisher. Well, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Man. Moving right along. Here's something. This looks like an environment. Venus fly trap planet. It's a fly trap. When a plant here does damage, heal your hero for that much. So, again, it's a survivability card. I guess with strike through plants, this would be really good because it would heal your opponent, yourself probably twice. It does cost 4. It's very, very expensive for what it does. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Here we go. What is this going to be? 4 costs 3/7. That's really interesting stats. I love the stats, by the way. 3/7 is like amazing stats here. It's a peanut plant. So it has pea synergy. If you're using this, it'll be exactly with Chomzilla. And then it's also nut with exactly with Walnut. And then zombies can't do bonus attacks. I mean, that's, you know, this is going to be a great answer to certain metas that have, you know, that they have a lot of tricksters and a lot of, you know, bonus attacks and things like that in it. So this will be a great answer to those. This is sort of very similar to the, obviously, to the bonus track Buckethead in the Hardy class on the zombie side. It's probably slightly less useful because I think there's less zombies that really do bonus attacks. This looks pretty cool. Pretty cool. Nice. It'll be nice in a pea or a nut deck, you know, with those heroes I mentioned before. So, moving right along. Astrocado. This is a fruit plant. Strike through 5/3. Okay, not bad. When destroyed, gain a Link Astrocado Pit. So this not only does a lot of damage strike through, if they can't take it out, I mean, it is a plant, so if they've committed a zombie, you can just play this, and then it's scot-free for like 10 damage, because they'll do 10 more the next, they'll do 5 more the next turn. So that's also really amazing plants. Plus, when it's destroyed, you actually get another card. So what does this do? It's a 1 cost. Start of turn, this turns into an Astrocado? What? This is going to be such a play around card, because once you know the Astrocado Pit is in your opponent's hand, the zombies are then not ever going to be able to really commit all their brains. They're going to have to always be playing around this the rest of the game. Just the fact this is sitting in your hand and your opponent has to play around this amazing card for the rest of the game, that they have to always have an answer remaining, that really will just itself cripple your opponent. So this card seems very broken. The Astrocado with this ability, it seems like it does too much damage, and then it also gets this ability. It doesn't even need this ability, but anyway, moving right along. This is called a tackle cake. It doesn't even say what it is. It's a fruit trick. Destroy all plants and zombies on the ground. So this is similar to, like, I don't know, Zombot Stomp. It destroys things on the ground, so it's like a very big lawnmower. This looks like a decent field clear card. Even if you take out 2 zombies with this, it's good. But again, it is sort of like Doomshroom. It takes out your cards as well. It's going to be an interesting removal. I guess, I don't know how useful it's going to be. Maybe in a more of an OTK deck, not a Swarm deck. If you're playing against Swarm decks, this will be better. Anyway, Tactical Kook, it's called. Tactical Kook. Okay. Alright, and this is an unfinished card. It is the Astrova. Anyway, alright, looks like there's going to be some zombies. This is taking so much longer than I thought. Okay, here's a 1-cost beastie. Here we go. Gourmet Mustache Zombie. I wonder if there's going to be Gourmet or Mustache Synergy. When this hurts the plant hero, conjure a Gourmet card. Okay, so this is the first Gourmet Synergy in the game. This could give you a Garg Feast. It could give you a, I don't know, leftovers. And it costs 1 less. That's interesting. Again, you don't need to put this with other gourmet cards unless there's going to be some other gourmet synergy. This looks like a really, really good card. Cheese Cutter. I love that so much. This is a 1-cost 2/2, and it just draws you a card instantly. And that card ends up being amazing because whatever it was supposed to be, it costs less. This card seems extremely good. Extremely good. And it is cards like this that the Beastie class really needs. I'm so excited for the Beastie class. There's probably the worst class in the game. Currently, you know, gonna actually be able to get like amazing cards. Keep on going here. That seems really, really good. It's decent stats and just draws you a card right off the bat. Awesome. Here's this one. Botanist. What is this? It's a professional mustache zombie. When played, so it's 2/2/3 good. Make a 1/1 plant. When played, make a 1/1 plant. You create it for your opponent? Why would you want to do that? I'm very confused about that card. Maybe it's for you. Maybe it's going to help you charge your block meter. Here's Cyborg Zombie, the animation that was really messed up. Ooh, a 2-cost science. That's good. Hunt. Okay, so I think it follows around like the dog. It really follows around the guy. When destroyed, game a Vengeance Cyborg? What is that going to be? So we're going to see right over here. This is a 7-cost plant. Whoa! And it's also hunts. So it's a little card that hunts, and then it gets destroyed, and then it gives you another card that hunts. Oh, that's interesting. The hunt cards are sort of like taunt cards in Hearthstone. Let's keep moving on here. Synchronized Swimmer. Ooh, dancing and sports synergy. I'll take it. This is Boogaloo and Smash. It's amphibious too. Nice. And when played, the zombie copies the attack and health of another zombie. Wow, that is a lot of potential, this type of card. This is like a mimic. Obviously doesn't get their abilities, but it does still keep its stuff, so that has a lot of potential. Total Eclipse, it's a environment. Plants here get -1/-1. Wow, that looks like a really good one. Because again, you play it, it does something that turn, and then it really messes up a lane for the plants coming up, and it also does take out Stream for 2 and stuff, and all the swarmy cards that are going to be in the game. Okay, here's another one. Monster Trick, a plant gets -2/-2, and if it's in an environment, it gets -6/-6 instead. So this is taking advantage of environments. This is just a regular trick here. It's very expensive for a 3-cost card. -2/-2. This seems very meh. I guess -2/-2 is something, but it seems like it costs a lot. Here's Area 22. Science Trick. Zombies here get +2/+2 and Frenzy. That looks nice. Oh, this is going to be actually an environment. Zombies here. So zombies will start getting Frenzy. This is going to be a combo card. You're going to have to find very specific combos to justify playing 3 brains on this on turn 3 or whenever you play it. Maybe using this together with like Valkyrie or some crazy card like that. Here's Kitchen Sink Zombie. Don't know what that's going to be. Decent stats though, 3/6. Okay, here's another one. Bounty Hunter, 4/4/4 Frenzy. Pretty good so far. It's also a Science. It's also Pirate. Wow. Okay, so it's Hunt, so it also does go after things. And having Hunt and Frenzy together is really good because then it doesn't prevent you from doing damage. When this destroys a plant, draw a card. I'll take it. That's a really, just a bunch of, seems like a very bunch of interesting things. The Science, it has Frenzy, it's a Pirate, you draw cards. Seems like an overall just a good card with stats. You'd have to see if the card draw will have to take advantage of that. Here's Cosmic Yeti. It's a pet. Ooh, it is a pet. Monster Zombie, no synergy there. When played, conjure a pet, so it's poor stats, and it gets +1/+1. Interesting. End of turn, bounce this Yeti. So it's like a Yeti lunchbox. I really wish they would make the lunchbox into a pet trick that would make pets really into a thing. That would make pets, I don't think too good, but it would make them competitive. If the Yeti lunchbox was a pet trick. Maybe it will be someday. All right. Surfer Zombie, it's a vacation sports zombie, so it's going to be with the Smash. It's amphibious and Frenzy, 4/3. Just a card. Again, it's another sports card, which is nice. It's nice to have sports cards that are amphibious now. That'll help sports a lot. Seems like a decent card, decent stats. Okay, here's Supernova Gargantuar. What in the world? This thing looks awesome. This is my favorite art of a card, basically. Man, I love this kind of suit. Science Gargantuar Zombie. So it is a 5-cost Garg, so there's Gargologist synergy already. Frenzy, so it's already just better than Smashing Garg. When this destroys a plant, destroy all copies of that plant. So this is just a ridiculous Smashing Garg. First of all, just going up from 5 health to 6 health is really significant. Getting Science synergy is also a thing. I mean, this will work with Gadget Sciences. I would, again, another class we'd love to see get a lot of cards as just in general Science cards. This will obviously be only for Immorticia. You'll be able to take advantage of the Science synergy. Obviously, this seems really good. This will be a very good anti zoo deck if they happen to have. Again, it's going to be rare that they're going to have 2 of the same plant on the field like that, but every once in a while it'll be good. King of the Grill. So this is a Gourmet Gargantuar Zombie. I'm not seeing any animation for it quite yet. Maybe they'll pop up later. 6/6 Frenzy. Okay, that's good. When a Gargantuar destroys a plant, conjure a Gourmet card. So this is just another way to draw cards with the Beastie plant. Plus being pretty good. This seems like it has pretty decent stats. 6/6 Frenzy. It's not amazing stats, But you do can draw cards when any Garg. So this is Gargantuar synergy. Interesting. It happens to be actually I kind of exaggerate a little bit because smashing Garg does give all of your Gargs the strike through. This one only is strike through, and this the Galactic, whatever the one we had before, was only strike through for it itself. So that's why it probably, that's a little weakness as, but again, it's gonna be better than smashing Garg. All right, we are moving right along here. Interdimensional zombie. So we're up to the brainy class. I'm gonna look at the chat a little bit right before we get into this. Cheese cutter can give you a trick or treater. Broken already. No! They have to fix the treats. The gourmet synergy is gonna be horrible. No, they have to make the treats cost 1. I hope they'll do that. I really hope the treats will cost 1. In the deck? Hold your horses. Someone is suggesting something. Supernova Gargantuar says, when this destroys a plant, destroy all copies of that plant. There's someone in the chat suggesting that it destroys all plants in that deck. Everyone's saying, yeah. That is really what's happening? So I thought this was just going to be on the field, but he's saying no, it doesn't. I don't know. That seems very... It could be. Again, it removes that card from their deck. You can make them... It doesn't really matter because they'll just get other cards in their deck that are also good. So maybe it'll destroy... I don't know if that's really as significant, but some people are saying it does. Some people not. It seems like there's a lot of controversy about this. I'm just going to move on. Pine Clone? Anyway. Oh, it'll be very good against Pine Clone. It'll be such a great card against. That's such a great point. Alright, we're going to move on to the brainy class. And here's Interdimensional Zombie. Science Zombie. I love seeing more science cards. This is a one cost 1/3. It's going to need to do something good. Start of turn, this transforms into a zombie that costs 1 more. It keeps its ability when it transforms. This is going to keep on transforming every turn. This is almost like a doubled mint in a certain sense, a 1-cost doubled mint. It's 1/3, which is great survivability. This is going to be so weird. This is going to be so great for RNG. It also has, interesting, it's science the first turn, but I think it's going to lose its science title after it transforms the first time. That's pretty cool. Legendary card. I'll take it. That's going to be very interesting to play around with. Maybe there's going to be, I don't know what the synergy of that's going to be, but maybe it'll be good. Here's Zombology Teacher, so maybe there's going to be more, I don't know. Anyway, moving right along. Unfinished card. This is going to be another Galactic card coming up. It's going to be Cosmic Scientist. So it's a science card. 2 costs 1/3, so that's no Bullseye. It's not terrible stats. Bullseye, and it's going to conjure something. Conjure a science card and it gets Bullseye. So it seems like science and Bullseye are joining forces here. Is there, it's interesting. It's pretty decent stats. 1/3 Bullseye. It can work with science cards. It would need some science synergy to really make this viable. But, with drone engineers and whatnot, who knows. All right, here's Cairo Brain. Gourmet Trick. You get +1 for the rest of the game, every single turn. So this is exactly... like a card in Hearthstone. It's a, I don't remember what it's called. It is a Druid card. This is going to create ramp potential for these zombies finally, which there really wasn't. There was Gargologist and the Flag Zombie, but this will actually, you can play this. This will make you ahead for the rest of the game, so you're going to fall behind that turn. But if you can really have good catch-up 4-cost cards, let's say, and you play this on 2, that'll be really good. Seems like a decent card. This is going to be very meta-defining. I think this does so much for decks, and you're really going to build a deck, like a ramp deck around this. So I'm really happy that there's serious ramp cards being added to this game. Here's Medulla Nebula. When you play a zombie here, so it's an environment, 2 cost, you get +3 brains this turn? Does it say 3? Wow. This looks like a really good card. I mean, of course, that zombie, they're probably going to leave it alone so you can't get this multiple times. But you will be able to sort of make up for the lost brains basically the next turn already. This looks very interesting. Looks like it could have a lot of potential. In terms of, again, ramping. Ramping is going to be the new thing in this. And with, the solar class, seems like they added some potential to get sunflowers and whatnot. Transportation zombie. 2/2/3 good stats. It's a gravestone. Science gravestone. You can play zombies as tricks whenever this is around. It's like a permanent teleport. I love that card. That is so cool. It seems a little bit OP, but I love that mechanic. That's awesome. Dang, that's a good card. It's a gravestone too. It's a gravestone too. I think a gravestone's too much. I think I have to get rid of the gravestone quality from that, so at least it can get removed easily. All right, transformation station. Can play zombies and then move it anyway. It's a science trick. Start of the turn, transform the zombies here into a random zombie that costs 1 more. So it's going to be another similar mechanic that it's going to be increasing the cost of the zombies. It might turn into something great, maybe terrible. The great thing is that when it transforms in 1 more in this game, they actually, any active abilities do trigger. So that makes these types of cards really good. Here's Raptor Ground. Don't know where that is yet. Astronaut. 3 cost 2/2. It is a science zombie. When played on heights or in an environment, it gets 2/2. So this seems decent. Science card. It's a good, solid science card. It's 4/4 potentially on turn 3, which is really, really good stats. Seems like a great card, and it will hopefully be able to fill in the science, the weak science class with gadget scientists and all that. This is a brainy card. It definitely needs some work. So I'm happy there's good science cards. Could be just a general good tempo card. 4/4 on turn 3. Pretty good. Wormhole Gatekeeper. 3 cost 2/5. Great stats. Science Zombie. Each player draws an extra card each turn. So we already have Regifter Zombie, and we've been playing the Mill deck. That was like Tryhard's version. So this will be another, card that maybe will enable you to make your opponent get 10 cards in their hand really quick. And, not be able to block. Potentially also just in the zoo deck, just to have so much extra card draw is good. Here's a Neutron Imp. 4 cost 4/4. It's a science and it's an imp. Okay, so there's some infinity synergy perhaps. Or not infinity, it'll be Super Brains. When you play an environment, this does a bonus attack. Okay, how many environments are you going to end up playing? It's a nice solid 4/4/4 though. This is really what the science needed. It was a good 3. They have a good 3, and now they have a decent 4. And, Gadget Science, playing this on 4 and Gadget Science is in 5. That's really, really good. Really happy to see good new science cards. Triplication, Imp Gargantuar Trick. Ooh, Garg Trick. So this has a Rust Bolt synergy with Gargologist. Conjure an Imp, a Zombie, and a Gargantuar. So just draws a bunch of cards. Very interesting because usually if you're running Gargologist, you don't really need to draw a lot of cards since you end up having a lot of Gargantuars in the deck, which is late game. This is drawing really random cards. The Imp's not so good. A Zombie seems really random. Basically draw 3 random cards. It's basically an expensive version of Lurch for Lunch. Or not Lurch for Lunch, a Fun Dead Razor. Maybe this will be good. This could be really good. There's no Imp synergy, I don't think, for the trick. I wonder if that would be good in a Rust Bolt deck and you just, I don't know. Gargologist. Hard to say. It seems decent. Unwanted Gifts. I don't know what that is. What is this one? Exploding Fruitcake? Okay. Alright, so moving right along here. This is the Disco Knot. 1 cost 2/2, that's good. Zombies with 3 or less attack have Bullseye, so including this one. So it seems like a very, very decent card. So again, another potential to be able to make swarmy decks. They're increasing. This is the Zoo. I'm considering this whole release to be the Zoo release, encouraging you to make lots of decks with little tiny cards and finish off your opponent this way. It is also a dancing zombie, so this will be good with dancing synergy. Great card, actually, especially with Unlife the Party and all kinds of things like that. Okay, final mission. Destroy a zombie, then do 4 damage. That's very interesting. So this seems like a science trick. It's a little thing to be able to do 4 damage, particularly to your opponent's face. This will be good, again, if you just have lots of little cards on the board. It's not much of a sacrifice. It's called Final Mission because this is going to be used like as Berry Blast, like a finisher. Like, you have to have a zombie, obviously, to play this, and the zombie, you have to play it in the zombie stage. Zombie has to survive. And maybe giving the zombie something, but anyway. Okay, Loose Cannon, 1/1/1, Overboot 2. What does that mean? I hope he really clicks on that. Before combat here, do 2 damage to the plant hero. That's pretty cool. So it's automatically doing 2 damage that turn. Seems like, again, another little card that just like does a lot. It's also a Barrel Imp zombie, so this will have Infinity Synergy. Ooh, that's another 1-cost Imp. This can also be gotten from the Imposter Imp, because it will be a 1-cost Imp. which actually will be really good in zoo-y type decks. So we see a lot of real zoo potential here. Anyway, what is this? I don't know what it's called, but it says zombies here get +2 attack. It costs 2. Interesting. We're going to see the animation of it is so messed up. Well, it's called something. Looks like a moon. All right, here's a 2/2. It's a Quasar. What's a wizard? Yo, wizard Harry. Mustache synergy, if there's such thing. When played, if there's a zombie next door, conjure a superpower? Superpowers are just OP. I wonder if it's going to give you any superpower in the whole game. Dang. Some superpower. I mean, I don't think it's going to be necessarily the signature superpowers, but something tells me it's going to be any zombie superpower. So again, you could just get backup dancers, but you could get lightning bolt. You could get, I don't know, you could get like Eureka from this. You can get so many things. An excellent card drawer. It gives you an amazing trick. This is a legendary, no surprise. That looks so much fun. I wonder how that's gonna work. I bet it would be good in like some sorts of like Immorticia, or I don't know, it would be crazy, so it'd have to be Brainstorm. I don't know, we'll see. Space Ninja, awesome. It's a professional zombie. Okay. 3 cost, 3/2, not bad stats. While in an environment before combat here, do 1 damage to each plant. And then he just throws like shurikens, just like, that's pretty cool. Of course, you're gonna, very high maintenance card would be good. Just 3/2 zombie. 3/2 plants for cost 2 are better than zombies. So it's high maintenance. We'll see how it goes. Okay, Moon Base 2. What is this? Zombies here get Overshoot 3. So it's like, it's a 3 cost again. You're spending valuable brains, you know, and at the end of every turn, if there's a zombie there, they're gonna have to destroy that zombie, put another one there. This is one of the first environments that really encourages you to destroy like the zombie that's played there. Anyway, you can just put another one and get the value again. That's pretty cool. Here's Cosmic Dancer and more dancing synergy. Again, a very weak class is Dancer. What is this? Overshoot 2, so it does damage. Very interesting what they're doing to the to the crazy class. Seems like they're adding this whole new thing of doing, kind of not addressing your opponent directly, instead just doing all this weird damage. And obviously Flamenco and you know, Jester had a very similar effects. So when played, conjure Dancing Zombie, and it gets Overshoot 2. So again, Overshoot synergy. This is going to be obviously a card you have to test a lot and have very extreme synergy in a deck in order to really make it work well. There's Binary Stars, 5/3/3, horrible stats. It's a gravestone. All of your cards do double damage. What? Does that mean that your zombies on the field will also? Does it mean that your plumbers in your hands are going to do 4 damage to your opponent's face, and that your flamenco is going to do double damage, and that that's... Anyway. Man, guys, this is a card to watch out. You can base an entire deck on this card, especially with all the Overshoot zombies. Holy moly. Wow, 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 wow. Moving right along. 6 cost, 5/5. Okay, decent sets. What is this? Gas Giant? Monster Gargantua. Oh, it's a Garg. Okay, there's some synergy there. When hurt, do 1 damage to each other plant and zombie. So it has a little bit of a field clear mechanic. It's only when it's hurt, it's not when it's played. When destroyed, do 5 damage to the plant hero. So it's kind of like a little Grapes of Wrath action. It does damage to the zombies too, and there is, again, in the crazy class with your Barrel of Deadbeards, your newspapers, your your jesters. This will have some synergy here. Looks interesting. Looks interesting. It does some direct damage too, which again, Gas Giant together with that other card that doubles the Gas Giant. There is some potential there. Okay, here's Black Hole. Again, a lot of these cards are going to change. We're going to actually move on here. Again, I just want to tell you guys, I know some of these seem crazy. These cards, if they're too good, PopCap will change them. The game right now is so balanced. I'm so happy. Again, the Kabloomy class is a little bit strong. The Sneaky and Brainy classes are a little bit strong. But the Mega Grow, since the Lily has come out, has become very strong. But in general, the game, there's no hero you can do. There's no strategy that just wins no matter what. Even the Trickster decks, they used to be so good, but there's so many counters to them with Sporticus and things coming out. I feel like PopCap has been extremely good in terms of making things balanced. Anyway. Do you have to spend your energy before the update? People want to see this. This is for YouTube and everything. I'll try to get some PvP at the end. It seems like this is going to take almost a whole stream. Let's keep on going here. All right, Hardy class. Black Hole. This is going to be plants here, so it's a 1-cost environment. Get -1. Wow, that's really good with Rolling Stone and everything. When a plant is played, move it here. This looks really good with Rolling Stone and Weed Spray and whatnot. Dang, might be just the fact it costs 1. This could almost be the best environment. Man, that's good. Team ups too. Escape through time. Here's a history science trick. Okay. A zombie can't be hurt this turn. Conjure a history card. So this is the first history synergy. You can get Valkyries and all kinds of other things. You can Valkyries with Rust Bolt, but obviously it's unreliable. You can also get, I don't know, Knights and stuff. So a zombie can't be hurt this turn. That seems like a very, very decent card. It protects at that turn. It's really like Root Wall in that sense on the other side. I think this is really, just, if you're saying what it conjures, it draws you a card too, so it doesn't cost you anything. This card I think is actually way too OP. This is just, it protects it too well. You can have high attack minions, and I think that card's a little bit broken, but anyway. 1 cost, it's 2/1, and it's armored 1, so great stats right there. It's also science and barrel synergy, science. It works with Rust Ball. Start of the turn, this gets +1/+1 if there's a zombie next door. Yeah, this card seems way too good. It's a 1-cost card too. I mean, it has to survive after the turn you play it. You know, if you have zombies on both sides. This seems like a really, 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 really good card. Holy moly. Just the stats are amazing. 2/1 with armor is obviously better than 2/2, usually. All right. Planetary Guard, 1/3 with armor and 1. Okay. Professional Zombie. If your hero would get hurt, this gets hurt instead. So, this is almost like a healing card in a sense. It is armor. It's like a little tiny soul patch. Yes. Tiny little soul patch. I guess this could add some survivability. It'll be like kind of instead of a healer. Preemptive healer. Okay, Cone Zone. Zombies here get +3 health. Oh, that's interesting. It's a cheap, again, another cheap environment. I don't know how worth it's going to be because you're going to stick one thing there. Maybe a high attack minion, so they'll have to remove it. Doesn't seem that impressive, but it seems like, okay, what is this now? Cosmic Sports Stars. Here's another sports zombie. Costs 3. When played, conjure a sports card and it costs 2 less, so that seems very good. Sports are very strong cards in general. This obviously is a huge ripoff on turn 3, but you kind of get it back. Seems okay. Going viral. You know, you can get Arm Wrestler too, and then you won't get it. This is terrible. Anyway, going viral. What is this? A trick? What is this? Okay, all zombies get... How much does it cost? 3. So all zombies get +1/+1 and Frenzy. Shuffle 3 going viral cards into your deck. Draw a card. So that's really going viral. Is giving all your zombies +1/+1 in Frenzy good? It's kind of like a cheap... It's a trick that's like a cheap... If you get too many of these, it's really, really bad. I think the fact that... It's good it draws you a card, because I think the fact that all these go back into your deck is not necessarily good. But again, in a deck like with Z-Mech, for example, where you're throwing a lot of little tiny cards at them, then you start playing these. Maybe that'll be really good. This costs 3. It's really expensive. I don't think this is worth it. It's like a bad Leftovers. Leftovers is, I think, is better. Here we go. Celestial Custodians. Here's a garbage mustache zombie. Why isn't that science? When played, destroy all plant environments. There you go. So we have finally a zombie that can destroy the plant environments. We did see a lantern, though, on the other side. So these are going to be, if the environment strategies come too hard, they have placed in the Hardy and Smarty classes the Silver Bullet to environment decks, and that will just totally eliminate those decks and prevent them from becoming too much of a thing. Intergalactic Warlord. Here's a 5-cost 2/2, so horrible stats. What does it do? When played for the rest of the game, all zombies get +1/1. So that's going to be any time it's played in your hand. Doesn't really matter. This seems like, again, this is going to work very well in a zoo type of deck. Lower, cheaper zombies. It's going to be much better. Giving +1/+1 to anyone, a zombie that's expensive, is not that impressive. There is a card in Hearthstone a lot of cards in Hearthstone that does this, so nice to see the originality here. What's going on here? Screen Door Zombie. I've been waiting for this. I love this guy in Plant for Zombies 1. Okay. It's a gravestone. Okay, that's interesting. When revealed, this can't be hurt this turn. So this is an expensive version of Trash Can. It seems okay. This looks like an uncommon, so okay card. Can be used as a control card, maybe. Kind of the turn after. Not blown away. Might have its uses. Zomba that card actually might be good with Neptuna if it pops back out of gravestones after mix up Gravedigger. Maybe some synergy there. Here's Zomba Battle Cruiser 5000. It looks like Zomboss has made another invention. Science, so Rust Bolt. It's a gravestone. Okay. When revealed, zombies can't be hurt this turn. What? 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 This is a 6-cost card. This is like, what? This is, no. What? This is the first card, actually, of all the amazing cards we've seen that has been just, this card is not going to exist when it comes to set 2. This card is ridiculous, especially with Neptuna. You're just going to keep on popping this thing back into a gravestone with your mix of Gravediggers. This is just 7/5 protects itself for 6 is good. It protects the rest of your zombies. It's just, what? This card, this is my best. This is the one that got me. This is the one that got me. Okay, they can squash and lawnmower this when it pops out. Still, they could grave bust it too, but the fact it works on all of your zombies. Anyway, this seems like way too. The stats are good too. If this thing would be like 4 attack and 4 health, then you can start justifying it, you know. But the stats are too good. 7 attack. This thing like destroys a plant automatically for free. This is, anyway. Grave Busters will be like necessary in everyone's just gonna play the Guardian class if this thing. Anyway. Here we go. Moving right along. Okay, sneaky. Finally, we're coming towards the end here. Ducky Tube Zombies. This is a vacation pet zombie. Interesting. So, pet synergy with Brain Freeze. Oh, another. Wow, Brain Freeze has another 1-cost pet. I love the fact that there's going to be more pets. What is this? Oh, Ducky Tube. It's amphibious. This gets +1/+1 when it hurts the plant hero. So, if they don't deal with that on turn 1, which is very hard to, it's just going to keep on growing and growing and growing. I love this card. Love that card. This is what, yeah. Nice. Beautiful, beautiful card. It's not broken. Seems pretty balanced. I like it. Graveyard. Environment. Zombies played here are gravestones. That's awesome. I guess, can they see it before? Maybe they can't. Maybe it just goes right into a gravestone. When a zombie is revealed from a gravestone here, it gets +1 attack. That's interesting. So you can make some really weird synergy with Headstone Carver and stuff. Graveyard. That looks cool. It's 1 lane. Seems decent. Maybe there's some weird cards that if you make them gravestones are too good, like with Super Brains. You play Trickster, it's like I don't know. It pops out and becomes a gravestone or something. It then it won't do its bonus attack if it's a gravestone. I don't know. Anyway, here's Dr. Spacetime. I think this one came out in a different video. It wasn't created yet at the time. This is a week old, this video. Frosty Mustache. Freeze a plant, conjure a mustache. So finally some mustache synergy. Here we go. There's actually mustache synergy in this game. This thing costs 2, which is very expensive. And there's no like Snowdrop or Winter Melon. Freeze a plant. I guess it protects one of your zombies that turn. It draws a card. Just seems meh. Maybe it'll be good in some decks. Maybe if they make some freeze synergy for the, I don't know. But we finally found a card besides for Brain Freeze that can freeze a plant. Ice Pirate. Oh, more pirates. Yes. Pirate Zombie. Gravestone. 3/1. Okay. When revealed in an environment, freeze a plant. So this will obviously be only really good. I mean, just the stats without the environment consideration is not that great. It's very interesting. There's going to be pirate synergy, though. Ice Pirate. That looks really cool. He has like a little ice gun. I would love there to be more pirates. Pirates is another thing that's just like horrible. Okay, here's Cosmic Imp. 3-cost 1/1. It's deadly. Okay. When played, conjure an imp, and it gets deadly. These cosmic cards are a little bit underwhelming, but maybe there's going to be some crazy synergy. I don't think so. It seems like it doesn't do enough. All the cosmic cards have been a little bit meh, except for the Yeti. Okay, Laser-based Alpha. Here's a science trick. Zombies here get deadly and strike through. That's interesting. Again, it's expensive. It costs 3. Deadly and strike through. They're just going to leave it alone. They're just going to not play. The answer to that is they're just going to leave it alone. So if you want a card that they're going to play alone, so leave alone, then fine. You can play a Trickster on that lane, but again, you're missing a whole turn. I guess, see, instead of drawing cards, you can, I don't know, with Super Brains. I don't know, Super Brains have enough tricks now? We'll see. Space Pirate. Here's more pirates. 3/3/2 horrible stats. Anti-Hero 2. Seems good. It's also a pet. Huh. It's also a pirate. This moves into a random lane when a plant is played here. Wow, so it's Chase the Chicken with 5 damage. Wow, this actually seems really good. Plus it's a pet. Man, Chase the Chicken's getting a boost. We did that boost. We have a, we did that deck already. All right, what is this? Space Cowboy. Woohoo! That's an awesome looking card. I love that. It's an imp and it's a pet. They're adding so many pets. They're trying to really buff up Brain Freeze because Brain Freeze is our weak hero. So they're giving the sneaky class specifically a lot of pets. Amphibious. So goes to play in the water. Strike through. Decent stats. 2/6 strike through. The zombie moves to the right when it hurts the plant hero. And it can move all the way to the water. That's cool. I don't know what the great use of it is. It's just 2 damage at a time for a 4-cost card. It is a pet, so it is hard to control, so then you can maybe get some pet synergy by playing Zookeeper and stuff. Maybe it'll be good. Okay, Trapper Zombie. This is a pet mustache zombie. So we have another pet for the sneaky. They added so many Brain Freeze pets. Wow. It's a gravestone. When revealed, make a Trapper territory. So it's going to make an environment when revealed, and I love the environments that come along with a zombie. This is a gravestone. Let's see what this environment does. And it doesn't say. Gourmet trick. 2 costs. Hopefully it'll be decent. Alright, Cairo Yeti. 5/5/6. Great stats. Pet monsters. Like another pet. Dang, there's so many pets for Brain Freeze now. When a plant does damage, freeze that plant. I love the high cost cards that are so defensive at the same time. This seems like a really, really, really good card. Besides for the pet synergy, it has great stats. I mean, amazing. 5/5/6. I don't think the stats of this are going to hold up. They have tried making 4/4/5s and 5/5/6. Something tells me this is not going to hold up. But the fact every single plant now is going to be running into problems the next turn is sort of a play into the next turn kind of card. Looks very, very interesting. Cairo Yeti. Alright, is that going to be it? I think that was the last one. And, alright, that is it for this video. So, the chat has just spontaneously requested that they want to see the second video. Apparently, some of the cards that we saw in the first video have been updated. There's been some little changes to all the cards in the game. It seems like, there are, of course, all of these cards. Some of them seem broken, some of them COP. They are going to, of course, be changing the cards and make them balanced. So, of course, don't get too worried if you see a card that's too great. So we're going to be going through this video. We're going to be seeing some of the adjustments that have already been made to some of these cards. And let's just do it right here. So let's see if we can even do this without pausing. Garlic is 1/5. That was a recent change that was made in our game. Photosynthesizer. Conjure. I don't think that changed at all. Gravebuster is now a root. Interesting. Good with Gravebuster. Cosmic Nut, which seems to be way too good. Used to be 3/4. Now what does it do? When played, conjure a nut, and its attack becomes 3. Okay, so these do have 4 health. So this one now is seems to be a little different. Here's Starch Lord. It used to have more health. This also conjures the roots, and the roots get +1/1. Alright. Soul Patch is now a flower. That's awesome. Wow, so this is Briar Rose with Walnut. That's going to be amazing. See what else is different. I guess he's just going around pointing them out here. Lantern is a tree root plant. Also became a root, so they're changing a lot of the roots around, it seems. Reincarnation, anything different here? At the end of your turn, this transforms to a random plant with +1/+1. It keeps this ability. Wow, so I think it used to just transform to a random plant. Now it transformed to a random plant that's a little bit extra strong. I don't know why it needed that. It wasn't weak. It was too weak before. I don't know. Necessarily. Onion rings. It became a root plant also. Okay. Interesting. Spirus has become also a root. This is very interesting as well. This is... Wow, this used to be a 5/5 with 5 splash damage. Now it's Now they made it better. Why did this card have to become better? It has 6/6 now with 6 splash damage. It makes the tricks cost 6 more. Why did that need to be better? I don't know. I guess they're really intent on giving the Smarty class a good one. Okay, here's Astro Vera. Oh, I don't know if we even saw this cactus plant. When played, increase your hero's maximum health by 10. It is an 8-cost card, so expensive 5/5. Heal your hero for 10. So it does both, I guess. It makes it that the maximum health goes up. That doesn't heal you. Okay, then it heals you for 10. Interesting survivability card with the solar class here. I mean, we have had some healing. Very interesting. There is a card that does damage whenever your hero is healed. So that'll do 10 damage of combined. That seems a little bit broken. Moving right along. This card was a 5/6, and as if it wasn't good enough before, now it's a 5/7. Okay. Moving right along. Cosmic Scientist. Bullseye. Oh, this is a 1/2. I think this used to be a 1 attack 3 health, so they thought that was too good, I guess. Here's another Science Wormhole Gatekeeper. It has Bullseye. Oh, this used to actually not. This used to be each player draws an extra card. These actually not have Bullseye. So that the Bullseye will actually make your opponent really want to remove this card. Oh, interesting. Made it a little better. Guess they like having Bullseye Science cards. Here's Teleportation Zombie. It's a gravestone. When you play zombies, it's time for... Wait, you can play zombies when it's time for tricks. Wow, this is a 1/5. I think this used to be a 2/3. I think 1/5 is even better. Interesting how they gave that amazing card a buff. What else is different? Here's Dr. Spacetime. Here we go. Science History Zombies. There's some science synergy with exactly Super Brains. Cards you conjure get +1/+1. That's interesting. When this hurts the plant hero, conjure Galactic Gardens card. That's cool. I guess Galactic Gardens is the name of this set. That's my guess, since we haven't seen a card called Galactic Gardens. There are a lot of Galactic cards also, so that really makes sense. Trapper Zombie's a gravestone when revealed. Did that change at all? I missed it. When revealed, make a Trapper territory. Oh, so now the Trapper territory was unfinished in the last video, so now he's going to show us what this does. It's a gourmet trick. Cool. Before combat here, do 1 damage to each plant here. So this will make... That's very interesting. This is a good... This is a very good buff to that 3/3 card, that gravestone. This will be able to deal with the little mushrooms and the little, kabloomy, zoo decks that the plants are inevitably going to start playing. Not only does it do that turn, this creates a territory that does that. So really, the Trapper seems to be an extremely good card. Seems really, really awesome. Any changes to the Cairo Yeti? Oh, see, its stats used to be 5/5/6, and it seemed like really, really broken. Now it's 4/5, which is a little bit more reasonable. This gets +1/+1 when a plant or zombie is frozen. When played, freeze a plant. Wait a second, this does a totally different thing. You used to freeze a plant when the plant would do damage or something. Now it's when played, you freeze a plant, and now it just becomes 5/6. So now there isn't one other card, I believe, that freezes plants. That this will work as like a very large, snowdrop. So it's interesting. Very interesting, but it does freeze a plant right when you play it, which is kind of, similar to it's similar to Whoop-de-Doo in that sense. Oh, here's Beta Kiranada. Oh, here we are. So we're actually going to see some of the superpowers is going to have root superpower. When played, move another. So this is a 1-cost 2. What? Its superpowers are going to be as like a minion. So it's a 1/2/2. And you move another plant or zombie. It seems like it's going to have a lot of uses. That's a really good power. Just having a 1/2/2 for... You can play this as... Well, as a trick, doesn't matter. That's interesting. One of its powers because a minion now. This one also, its power is a minion. 2/1, team up. When played, conjure a root. So it draws a card. It's also a team up. Seems interesting. I think these are better than Citron's powers so far. Like Transmogrify. We'll see. This is very similar to Root Wall. It protects... Lightning Speed, conjure 2 tricks. So this is some card draw for the, this Citron-like hero. His name's gonna be whatever, Carrot something. And here's the super duper one. What is Genetic Amplifications? Conjure a 2-cost plant. I guess it's at random. It gets +1/1, and it gets Amphibious, and it gets Team Up. Okay, it doesn't summon it then. It, you know, puts in your plant in your hand, I'm assuming. Seems pretty cool, though. It's going to work well with all these. It seems like all these are going to work very well with the sort of the swarmy decks, so pretty awesome. All right, moving right along. They're going to probably go to the zombie one and show us exactly what it is and what its powers are going to be. New zombie hero. So it's going to get a card Iron Board. What is this? It makes a 2/3. I guess this is a zombie. This is not a trick. So it actually, instead of getting a superpower, it gets a zombie. 2/3 bullseye. That's pretty good. While in an environment, this gets +1/+1. It's so interesting. They're giving minions as the things instead of the superpower tricks. Very interesting. Okay, teleportation station. Is this an environment? Start of turn, if there's a zombie here, gain a teleport. So we have teleport. You can like get teleports with this. This will be for interesting, you know, super brains with tricksters and I don't know what. That's cool. Is there any sneaky cards get to teleport? Maybe there is. Ice World. When a zombie here hurts the plant hero, freeze a random plant. So it's another environment. So they're creating like this environment. On the plant side, they create like a swarm plant hero. This one, they're creating like an environment hero. Terraformer 10. So here's the super conjure an environment. Okay, another environment synergy. All cards in your hand costs 1 less. I wonder if that environment is going to be included. I'm guessing that it is. Seems like a really good card. Another ramp card for the what's it called? For the zombies. That's really cool. Seems pretty awesome. I guess that's probably going to be the end of the video here. Yes, it is. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed. That was the last 2 updates in terms of what's going to happen in set 2. Again, things are going to change. Things are going to balance out. But I'm really, really excited. No one knows when set 2 is going to come out. I hope you enjoyed that. This is Fry.